Something came in the mail today. Yep. Now, these are FNaF Mexico bootleg figurines. And now you're probably thinking, Kyle, what the hell? Why would you buy bootlegs? Well, I'll tell you later, but first I'll get into the box. Now, I don't know which ones. I know this one, which I only do one video of, so I'm gonna do this one another time, which oh, that smell. Now, this is, wow, this is bigger than I expected. Now, this is a vinyl figurine, made in Mexico, a vinyl figurine of FNaF figurines. I've seen these before on the internet, and they don't look really particularly good paint job. But what's interesting, I don't know what you call it. It's obviously they're not licensed, but the molds are new designs. They're not like based on the Funko's one, which is very a rarity. And in fact, the reason why I got this one, well, man, that smell. It's very how should I say it? Paint. The smell of paint. I love that smell. So this is the cover, which has an LED light included, which we'll get into that in a second. So here's the back of it, which has a figurine of Springtrap that I saw they did. Now these figurines, vinyl figurines, I don't know what you call them, but they go for a lot of money on eBay. They go for like about 40 to 50, depends where you are, but I'm in Australia, so it's not very easy to find these guys. They're like very difficult, and I'm very lucky to get some of them. Yeah. Now, this is very excellent for what it is. The paint, they got missing spots. Now this is based on Withered Freddy and can't say the bloody word, Withered Freddy and Toy Freddy. It's like a hybrid of the original Freddy. So yeah, you got the head of the original Freddy, you got the buttons and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, I didn't expect it to be massive, and look, it stands really tall, which is pretty cool. Now I got a Funko figurine here, and before I get into this, I don't want to point out, criticize, this is better, that's better, this is bad, that's better. I'm just showing you some interesting comparisons. I'm not pulling out the guns or judging anything. I'm not doing that whatsoever. I'm just showing you. Here's a figurine of the Funko figurine. Now you can see this is pretty cool for its size and its paint. And the thing is, well, a lot of people, you probably already know this. This is the first series, and the figurines are not good articulation. That was just one of the complaints, but I'm not worried or mad about it. It's just move on by that, because the Funko figurines they've been doing lately on FNaF figurines, with the articulations a bit better and much more easier. Now, again, why would I get a bootleg of one that I already got? Well, I got this one just for the hell of it, and what's so interesting, that this has more features than the Funko figurine. And again, I'm not saying that I hate Funko, pointing out criticisms here. I love Funko's work. What this doesn't have, the mouth doesn't move. It's a stable thing, and it's a hybrid of Withered Freddy and the original Freddy from the first game, which is interesting. And the top hat doesn't have the thing. Again, I'm not complaining, or I don't want to criticize Funko's work, but this has the same. This is the same thing, basically a bit bigger. But what this one doesn't have is absolutely amazing. Now, this has a hinge. You can open the mouth, unlike that one, and it has teeth inside. And yeah, there is a button that you press the lights, and yeah, which is a bit weird, but which is pretty cool actually, and a bit weird because yeah, and you do realize there's not a lot of articulation, but that's okay because I'm just going to be displaying it for the shelf because I'm going to modify this guy because it has lines like scene lines from the molding process and everything, and I might repaint the guy, especially the added in dots here and here are not even painted. But what's also really cool is the face can come out very, very hard to get out. It looks, gotta be really careful not to break it. It's like, it's made out of like resin, rubber, or whatever it is. Pretty cool. Now, I'm not gonna knock the paint because it looks pretty decent. You know, different countries have different quality paints, so I'm not gonna judge them for what they had, especially a mass producer, these guys. Now this is amazing. It's got the whole, the face can come off. It's got the whole animatronic, you got the endoskeleton head and everything. Now the eyes can come off and you can move it around and such. You can take the eyes out and put it back in, and it'll look like he doesn't have any eyes, which is pretty creepy and pretty cool as well. Now, it has, you got like arm articulation, you got the shoulder, which isn't, the whole head, you got the swivel thing here. Oh, I don't think that's supposed to come off. And it comes with accessories. The microphone from the Sister Location, I'm not too sure, I might have to look that up again. And you got the top hat, which is funny because it's painted to represent Toy Freddy, but there's no string, so it's just painted in. Like this one, for instance, but it has a molded in string, so that's pretty funny, pretty interesting. So yeah, you put the face back in. The hat doesn't stay in, it just stays there, which is pretty nifty. The microphone does come in. Whoops. Can go in. It's pretty difficult. There you go. Which is pretty much. And what's really cool is that you can pose it to look like he's singing, like that. Back on. Put the eyes back on as well. Try not to bloody lose them again. There you go. Now, on to the things that are. Well, that's wrong. It makes it look derpy. There you go. That's more like it. So it's pretty cool for what it is. Oh, it's interesting. There's like an thing there. I don't know what that is, but it could be something from made by the factory or something. I don't know. There's like also this interesting studs here. I don't know if that's accurate or not. So what I'm gonna do is that it's gonna be like this thing is gonna come off. I'm gonna pull the eyes out and everything. What I'm gonna do is, I carefully peel this off again, is that I'm gonna take one of the eyes. I'm just gonna leave the paint the way it is, and I'm just gonna paint this stem here silver, blackish silver, like silver with a little to make it look old, and yeah, to go with the endoskeleton as well. And I'm gonna paint the teeth in because they're, you see the little rough. And I'm gonna I'm gonna repaint this bit here as well. I'm gonna paint the entire thing, maybe gonna paint the entire thing a little bit better brown, and the skin color, because it's more of a pinkish color. And then I'm gonna add in the dots for the these freckles. But I'm also gonna do is what do you call it? Sandpaper and my X-Acto knife, what do you call it, for sculpting things, to carefully get rid of all the seam lines. And I'm gonna paint them with a little black and a little bit of extra stuff. Yeah, it's really, really heavy. It's really cool. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I will see you back later. Right, here we go. We got all set. I got my knife. I got all sorts of paints. I got all skin colors. So I got very light skin color. Looks like the same one. I might have to test these to pick out what's the best one. You got the light skin color. Got even lighter skin color by the looks of it. And you got very dark, pale, brownish, blackish color. You got black nail polish. You got I got a very small amount of brown nail polish. Looks like this kind of the same one as this. And you got silver nail polish. Right. So here's all the paints. Here's the accessories. But I think I'll start with the main, this piece right here. Here we go. So here he is, and it's all finished now. So what I've done is repainted the entire thing, which is pretty neat. But I had to firstly carefully cut around the edges of the lines. So I made him like this very gritty, more realistic looking version of the one you had before. So you got like this washed out doll like eyes. The mouth still opens and closes. Added red gums in there, so stuff like that. Yeah, it's very neat, and I made him a little bit more darker than the light brownish color. Kind of, I'm not criticizing the Mexico's paint because to make it much more cheaper to sell it, and what I've done is really good. I couldn't do anything about the lines. Some of them is that they look like they glued them in place, so you can do that, but the thing is, this is more thicker than the other, so there's no way I could have done that besides trimming outwards. I didn't want to spend too much time on this. I did the best I could to make it look really cool and very creepy looking. I did the back as well. So I gave him this black wash to point out a little bit more detail, so it kind of works actually. If you see really closely, there's a magnet, and the reason for that is that I painted glossed this his top hat, and if you can see in there, a magnet. Now, the reason I did this is because there's no peg or anything supporting putting the hat on top, so if you put it on there, it will just fall off. So what I did is put a magnet in here and make it constantly stay in place, which is pretty cool. And there you go. So it stays on there like that. Now, there was a lot of improvising with this figurine. At first I was thinking of making it the same color, but darkening up, so I decided. But instead I went and did the brownish dark charcoal look to him. I think it works really well. And I also took the time to, if I can get this out carefully, I took the time to trim these pegs so I can put them in properly, so it'd be much more easier to take them out. That kind of worked actually, and the eyes and kind of washed up this area here. Gave them carefully. Also, sorry if you can't see this properly. I also trimmed the eyes and sort of made them less thicker than they are, so that way they can easily put in place. I know they can already do that, but they were sticking out very far up. There's not much to say really, besides I did a very good job at modifying this guy. Freddy is really good. I also did a very good job at painting the microphone as well, so yeah. That does not come off. Oh, and by the way, he still lights up. You look inside there, you can see around it, and the back as well. Almost lights up because I just repainted the goddamn thing. And I don't care much about the light anyway, but it's really cool nonetheless. They added a feature like that for a bootleg, that is. I think they always do it with other figurines such as Iron Man and other knockoffs they've done. Well, I'm not talking about Mexico that did the other knockoffs, but I'm pretty sure other companies out there, other countries as well, do these kind of things. But this is one of the most spot on and one of the best bootlegs there are to date. Yeah, and I am thinking of getting more. It's just these go for a lot of money. If you know that this guy cost about $60. I'm not kidding, and I think he's worth it because he's so big. I didn't expect him to be this big. I expect him to be like one of the Star Wars sized figurines, the old Star Wars sized figurines. But I'm happy nonetheless that I got this and repainted it. did a good job at doing it. So, yeah. I think I'm getting to add the collection. I think I'm getting Foxy and the Marionette. I already got one. Like I already got another one, so I might do another video on that later, because this guy took a long time to work on, and I didn't want to spend too much time, but I ended up doing it, so yeah. And remember, I will see you in the future. Bye.
Yeah?
Can you, Fred, you in here?
Yeah?
Can you get your school uniforms for me, please?
Yeah,
There should be two of them.
yeah, okay. I just got a sticky situation right here. Please don't come in here. I'm fine. I just don't want you to smell the toxic fumes. I can't. I'll lock myself in.
You can smell it now?
Oh, God. You know I got this all recorded, Dad.
Oh, I didn't. You didn't tell me that.